Last year, national tax revenue fell more than 30 trillion won short of government projections. With the risk of economic slowdown increasing this year, there is concern that if a supplementary budget is introduced, the issuance of deficit bonds will be unavoidable.
지난해 국세가 정부 예상보다 30조 원 넘게 덜 거친 것으로 나타났습니다. 올해도 경기 하방 위험이 확대되면서 추경 예산을 편성할 경우 적자 국채 발생이 불가피하다는 지적입니다. Okay, so basically last year we didn't get enough tax revenue, the government, because of this economic downturn?
Yes, so they were expecting more tax revenue, more tax money to come in.
Yeah.
But it did not, and it's quite a bit. So the Ministry of Economy and Finance, 기획재정부, confirmed that last year's revenue was short by 30.8 trillion Korean won. 지난해 세수 결성 규모가 30조 8천억 원으로 확정됐어요. So,
Well, that sounds significant. I'm not quite sure. Yeah.
that amount of money I will
Yeah.
never see in
That's
my
right,
life.
right.
But yes, if you are a country and you're trying, building infrastructure, these types of things,
Sure.
you
need money.
You need money. And
Yes.
the fact that these taxes didn't come in mean that certain services may not be able to be performed.
Now, Cameron, the problem, though, is that right now the economy is not doing well. It continues, and they're saying that it's going to get worse. So what's going to happen this year?
Yes, so there is this worry that the lack of tax funds, the lack of tax revenue will continue. Of course, we have the political instability right
Right.
now. People aren't buying as much. If they're not buying live flowers, 꽃다발도 안 사는데
Yeah.
they're probably not going to be buying other things as well. And we talked about construction. 건설 투자도 많이 줄어들고 있어요.
Sure.
So these big things that when you buy them, you pay taxes, right?
Sure.
These are all opportunities for the government to get tax that these opportunities are going away.
Oh, goodness. This is a huge problem.
So they're worried that they may have to start issuing deficit bonds. So these deficit bonds are basically, from the government's perspective, debt, right? That
Yes,
they're going to
that's
have to
right.
pay back at a later date.
Okay, so, oh boy, this is not a good situation at all. Let's take a look at the word revenue.
Yes.
뭐 한국말로는 뭐 소득 아니면 수익이죠,
Yeah.
right? And we talked about tax revenue,
Yes.
right? So first of all, revenue is kind of the total income that usually a government or company gets.
Yes.
Right.
Revenue is a big word. You probably wouldn't use it for an individual.
Yes,
Right. So for an individual, you might say income.
just income.
Right. One person has an income, but a company, a business would have revenue, 수입, right? But when we say tax revenue, of
Yes.
course, that is the amount of money that the government is receiving from taxes. 세수.
세수. Very good. Okay, so unfortunate news. Let me read that again. Last year, national tax revenue fell more than 30 trillion won short of government projections. With the risk of economic slowdown increasing this year, there is concern that if a supplementary budget is introduced, the issuance of deficit bonds will be unavoidable.